Welcome back to boostinmotion, and today I'm going to give you my 5 dislikes about my 2018 Q50 Sport. Video, I want to say thank you. I'm going to continue to put up updates about my 2018 Q50 and also other car reviews. So if you can, please subscribe and press the little bell on the side or however the YouTube app is on your phone. I'm going to keep making more content and appreciate you very much. Now, is Infiniti? Please move away from the 7-speed automatic. We are in a day and age where dual clutches are far more superior and are probably just as cost efficient to make as regular torque converter transmissions. If we can get in a day and age where an ILX could have a dual clutch transmission on a 4-cylinder from Acura, that car has a lower price range than a Q50. You should be able to put it in this longitudinal mounted car, especially that you added a 3.0T motor, a twin turbo motor with close to 400 pounds of torque. You probably beefed up the transmission to handle the amount of torque, which is completely fine, and I like that. But in this day and age, you guys always find yourself being the last to the game with it. Now, we know you had it in the GTR, but start implementing some of that same technology you learned from the GTR and put it into your Q50 models. I know you want to refine and make these motors better, make the transmission better, make the car better. It's not an M3 or M4 competitor, but you can get there. Please, I am a Nissan Infiniti fanboy. Move away from these torque converter transmissions and go into dual clutch. One of the top things that I dislike about this car the most is one of the things that every person that drives contacts the most: the steering wheel. Now, I've driven other cars, and I've had a 2015 Q50. In this model, they change up the steering wheel. The same different type of functions, buttons that do different things, from cruise control, adaptive, all that stuff. But to me, the steering wheel feel is the most important thing because it's part of the driving experience. And I must say, they must have changed up the leather from the 2015 models to the 2018 models because the steering wheel sounds hard, feels hard. There's not much giveaway. It's not something I want to hold on to on a long drive because it's just not comfortable. I like that they added the stitching, but it's also part of what you feel, and I don't like that. I don't know. I don't like that. Maybe they could have covered it with some kind of clear coat or something to soften it up. Also, my car is equipped with the non-DAS, that's direct active steering. Now, I had the direct active steering on my 2015. I did dislike it, always driving a car with a traditional steering pump and linkage that actually connects to the wheels. But in my 2015, I got used to it because when you change the drive modes on the side to sport and eco, it also changed what the give is, the amount of tension that you would have in the steering wheel. So when you put in sport mode, the steering wheel got a lot heavier. And I noticed that on the highway when I'm driving at certain speeds or have spirited driving, I like the heavy steering wheel. If I'm in the streets trying to cut up under, let's say, 40 miles an hour, cutting in and out of traffic, not saying you're supposed to do that, I noticed that one of the biggest things that I noticed was that it was pretty the heavy steering wheel was actually pretty annoying too. So I must say that I'm kind of split decision on if I like DAS or not when it comes to the steering wheel, because when I drive this car now on the highway, I feel like the steering wheel is way too light. It feels like I'm driving a Camry. And in the street, I could handle it because you make the nice quick moves, but it's always the same steering wheel give. So this is something I'm undecided about. It is a dislike because I do have the regular rack on it, but also it's also a plus because I like it at lower speeds. It's just easier to make those transitional turns. Also, on top of that, the steering wheel feel isn't all the best. They haven't made any aftermarket steering wheels yet, and if they do, it won't have a heater element like which one might have. But they do make other stitchings that you could probably add onto this, maybe Alcantara, or maybe you could get something custom. But as of right now, the steering wheel thing is one of my dislikes on top of the non-DAS. And this is probably for all Q50 owners, is this double screen dash infotainment system. Now, I dislike this, the reason being because compared to other manufacturers on the market, they have just better functionality. One, this isn't in a 3D map yet. this is still a same similar map that they had on the 2007, 2008 Infiniti G37 sedans and coupes. Now, I do like this screen because the resolution looks a lot better, but there's nothing to do here other than putting in your points of destinations, maybe some iTouch services. You could go to your drive mode selector here to actually adjust what the transmission and thing may do, a compass, but this is stuff that I don't really care about too much. The second thing on top of this, it has a certain lag to it. So sometimes if you have an owner of an iPhone, the functionality is just quick and it's smooth. This one just takes too long, and there's really no apps to add to it. It's one of those things that Infiniti still didn't think much of, and after 4 years from 2014 to 2018, they still haven't added Apple CarPlay or anything that other auto manufacturers want. So Infiniti, please, this is what people want. They want the interchangeability of being able to use their Apple devices and or Android devices on their car, and it just has a better interchange. But also, there is an aftermarket for this car that you can replace this deck and this screen and this screen with an app, with an Android tablet or a screen. So it just has a better intuitive engineering to it. So look into that. Now the last thing I'm going to get into is not the screen, but the backup camera. Now it's very, very pixelated. It looks very similar to the 2014 and never really changed, but compared to other auto manufacturers that use 360 cam or side mirrors, at which Infiniti does have, the resolution is just very low with this Infiniti model. And for 4 or 5 years, I thought they may have gotten better at their designing of it. I think that they can definitely look into other auto manufacturers and see what the competition may have. I know you use optional sensors and other cameras to give a bird's eye view, and I think that's a really dope thing, including that our mirrors do fold down on both sides, but I just believe that the resolution could be a lot better. Also, a lot of Infiniti owners notice that at night they can't see out their rear cam. You can't see in night vision at all. Because on my G37, I could see out the rear at night. It was very clear. So Infiniti, definitely look into this. Maybe you can change it up. We will see. So that brings this video up to conclusion. So I want to tell you guys thank you. These may not be the biggest dislikes that some of y'all can be like, oh, that's nothing. But these are some of the dislikes I know while having this car as a daily driver. And to some people, when they first get the car, they're like, oh, I got a new car. Or they're like, oh my God, I like this. But sooner after a while, you'll notice that there's better out there. Or if you experience better, you'll want to do better. And Infiniti is still trying their best to branch off into that. And something's holding them back. I don't know what it is. They did a great job by going to the twin turbo motor. They're doing a great job by making the car look better and more appealing. But I still think that the transmission is probably one of the things that's holding this car power-wise and power delivery back to the ground. I still believe that when it comes to the DAS and or the steering wheel feel, because it's the thing you touch the most, it still feels a little cheap. Yes, it is. The car starts at $34,000, but it's still, for it to be marked up to $60,000, it should just feel better. I still believe that the infotainment system, in its own way, it's only 4 years old, but it's already a dinosaur. You know, these are things that I believe Infiniti could definitely change about it. They can add a better navigation system. They need to look into some of this stuff because this is what the people want. And if they choose not to make these necessary changes, they're going to get left in the dust by their fellow competitors. So please, like, share, subscribe, hit the little bell on the side. Leave your bad and good comments. I read to it. I don't really answer them all back. I'm sorry. But I just like to know what you guys may be looking into getting. And, you know, you can send me an email too. Maybe there's something that you may want to know about the car because you may be looking into purchasing or leasing it. And I will get back to you guys shortly. See you in the next video.